Hello, everyone. I hope you can see me / hear me. I truly do apologize for this amazing look with a giant hair clip and a tank top, but it's suddenly 30 plus degrees in Italy. It's so hot, and I've been working all day because I have to finish all my teaching reports. And so I couldn't be bothered to get dressed. And also, I am so hot right now, but I'm not actually, hot because this is what I look like. Yeah, it's a butterfly on my head. My hair is so long now, guys. I need to cut it ASAP. It's like down to here. It's not very convenient. But yeah, hello everyone, ciao, and every other language. So happy you're all here. And it's been a while. I've been so overwhelmed with schoolwork, which is, my actual job where that they pay me for. So I had to devote myself to it. And also not much was happening anyway. So, but I guess we do have some news now to talk about. So yeah, I think my dad's literally shouting. I'm back at my parents for the long weekend. I came back a couple days ago. Let me just go tell my dad to shut up for a second. Bye-bye. Okay. He got it right away. I was like, Dad! And he was like, yeah, I'm moving. But yeah, I'm back at my parents for the long weekend. And yeah, so I actually wanted to try something today. I'm here, like, I'm about to eat my cherries, being a healthy queen. I wanted to see, and you guys tell me in the chat if this is a terrible idea. I wanted to see if I can put on some background music because I've just finished a playlist on Spotify that I'm super happy with. But I'm afraid that the music and my audio are gonna clash terribly, and you're not gonna be able to hear anything. So I'm gonna try and put it on for like 30 seconds, and you tell me if you can hear if you can hear the music, B, if you can still hear me and understand me with the music, and if you can't, I'm just gonna drop it immediately. So let's try and let's see if it's a horrible idea. I made a playlist that I called Sunny Mind on Spotify, and it's like a summary chill. Oh, YouTube's gonna block my video? Oh, shoot. Not gonna do it then, never mind. I didn't know that. Thanks for the heads up. Okay, that's it. My experiment failed immediately. Okay, let's get to the questions. I was stalling a little bit. Yeah, thanks guys. Copyright. Yeah, I hope like those 10 seconds don't mean that they're gonna block my video. As you can tell, I am great YouTuber, great mind here. I know absolutely nothing about how YouTube works, as you can probably tell. Thanks, guys. That's very useful to have you here. Okay, so let's get to the questions. Never mind about my playlist that I was super happy with. All right, so the first question I read that somebody left here for me is, what is your opinion on Rika adding Brian as her coach? I think it's an interesting move. From what I gather, her former coach, Hamada, is actually going to switch to a more like manager role. So I think that's part of the reason why, because I think like her relationship with Amato seemed to be going well, at least like on a coaching level. She seemed to be gaining a lot of consistency last season. So I think this could be firstly because Hamada is probably switching to a more managerial role. She sent Satoko to Lee, she sent Vincent to Lee, and now she's sending Rika to Brian. I wonder if Young Yu is going to also go somewhere else at this point. And also Brian obviously is good for reputation. He's coaching Yuzu, he's coached Javi, he's coached Yuna. So it's great to have him in your corner for your reputation and for components. I am wondering though, I find it a bit weird that Brian hasn't said anything yet, because I think Rika or Japan Federation, they made a statement saying that she'd train with Brian a little bit, but also she'd train in Japan. And so it'd be like kind of 50-50 back and forth between Toronto and her home base of Japan. But I haven't actually heard anything from Team Cricket or Brian himself. And yet, Brian has been very active on social media lately. He's been posting a lot on Instagram. But he's said nothing about Rika's transfer. So I'm wondering whether maybe the terms aren't yet very clear. But it seems strange to me that Japan's federation would just announce it if the terms haven't been agreed already. So perhaps, I don't know, I found it curious. I've read that there was a thing about Evgenia's mom saying that they didn't know, but then it was published on Sputnik, I think it's pronounced. And at first they were like, Evgenia said Rika's not actually going to Toronto. And then they were like, oh, sorry, no, we actually didn't talk to Evgenia. We talked to her mom, and she said that they know nothing about this. And then they were like, oh, no, sorry, like, I guess we misunderstood. So in the end, they basically retracted everything. But it did make me want that, plus the lack of statement from Brian made me wonder, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe the negotiations aren't over yet. In any case, I think this will probably be very beneficial for Rika, even if she goes like half the time. I think getting to work with Ghislain, if she's trying to go for a quad, is probably a very, very, very good advantage to have. So yeah, I think overall it's probably a good choice. And yeah, I think I'm curious to see how they mash together Rick and Brian, and how much he actually is going to coach her as opposed to her going back and forth. So lots of stuff to think about. Let's see. Oh, Young Yu already trains in Colorado Springs. Yeah, I wonder if she's going to just like permanently be there, because she seemed to be doing quite well with Amada anyways. So I'm curious about that. Let's see. Alisa switched coaches to Lieberkel. Yes, I've seen she broke it off with her coach, and it was announced today. But and also she unfollowed her old coach on Instagram, which makes me think it wasn't a very amicable split. Obviously, I mean, not actually with Alisa, who is a child, is probably with her team. Alisa is like a baby, as we all know. But yeah, it seems like she's going to Lieberkel. I don't think it's official yet. I've read it on TSL. They usually have this stuff, right? So especially if it concerns American skaters. So I'm assuming it's true. And if that's the case, that's also a very interesting move. I do think Alisa definitely needed to switch. If anything, because her coach is quite, I don't think she has any big adult stars yet. So it makes sense for her to move to somebody with a more of a reputation, and also to an environment with a lot of senior top skaters. If she was actually going to train with Lee, she'd have Satoko Miyahara, she'd have Vincent Joe, she'd have Gabby Dillman. So she'd be surrounded by people who, you know, went to the Olympics, went to Worlds, medaled at Worlds. She'd be with 3 world medalists. So I think that's definitely going to be beneficial for her. Lee looks like he's gaining a lot of traction as well, which is, you know, it's interesting because he only left Cricket Club a year ago, basically. So in a year, he's gained, well, Gabby was already his student, but then he gained Vincent, he gained Satoko, now Alisa, who's like probably USFS biggest star. especially in the ladies field. They are definitely placing a lot of expectations on her. So it's very interesting to me that she'd choose him over, say, Raf or Brian. Although Brian does have his hands really full, I thought she may have chosen Raf, for example. So yeah, interesting choice. I am very, very, very curious to see how things will develop for her and if they will still go for the quad lust or if they will just, ditch it, do something else. Yeah, it's very interesting, very, very interesting. I'm excited to see how she develops and how things go for her. Let's see. Do you see that Plushenko hired Veronika Jelina's mom as a coach? No, I didn't see that. Interesting. Do you think it's a Terry's loss? I am curious to know what is going on at Terry's. A lot of people left. Some coaches left as well. Obviously, notably hot Sergey left. And yeah, I think it's interesting. I wonder what the new dynamics will be at Terry's. It's an interesting situation. I wonder if, in a way, Plushenko is trying to kind of emulate that that type of environment with a lot of novices and juniors, because he doesn't seem to have a lot of senior athletes or and the coaches he has work mainly with juniors and novices. He has Sasha's former coach, whose name escapes me at the moment. He has Hot Sergey, and if now he has Jelina's mom as well. I think it seems to be a more junior slash young skater environment. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how it's gonna go. Let's see. That Japan Federation acts in secret. Yeah, but it's weird because even if they do maybe act in secret, they did announce something that Brian hasn't confirmed yet when it comes to Rika going there. So yeah, I do find it a little weird, but your opinion on the ISU Skating Awards? I don't like the idea. I mean, who does like the idea? Like, no person I've spoken to is actually excited about the ISU Awards. I mean, at least because they're doing them online, we know that they're not going to actually endanger skaters, which they were going to do if they were to happen in Montreal during Worlds, during, the pandemic. So at least there's that. At least in this case, it's just going to be, it's not going to be endangering. I do wonder, would any of you be interested in a live commentary of the ISU awards? And it would be a salty commentary, just know that. Let me know in the chat. Let's see. There's this rumor that Sasha has landed a quad loop. I am quite skeptical because Plushenko is usually talks a lot, and he does it to promote his skaters. It's PR, it's nothing else. But I will be interested to see how Sasha does. Not so much in training, because we do know that she has the quads. We've all seen them. I wonder how they're going to translate in competition. Not even quad loop, just in general, because that's what she was having problems with last season as well. She had them in training, but in competition, it was much harder for her than in the past. Did you hear that Diana Davis also left her coach? No, I didn't. Who's she going to train with? I didn't hear that. I thought they were doing pretty well with their coach, with their current coach. I wish Rika would work with David Wilson. Her programs this season were kind of a dud for me. I didn't like her programs either. However, I don't know if David Wilson would be the solution. He tends to give skaters a lot of the same type of choreo, which is a bit princessy, a bit not always. I think he does a better job with male skaters, excluding Yuna, of course. But yeah, I would be curious. I just want her to have different programs. I wasn't really into either of her programs last season, while I really, really had liked her free skate 2 seasons ago. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think she has announced any programs yet. So almost nobody has because they can't really get choreography right now, which is a bummer. Because usually in the off season we can talk about 2 things, well, 3 things: coaching changes, and there has been some of that. Program announcements, which we've had like basically none. We only know that almost everybody in dance is keeping the short dance because the pattern is the same. And 3, Grand Prix announcements, and they're not likely to come out in June as they usually do. So we're left with nothing to talk about. Do you know if the ISU is going to stream the ISU Awards online? Yeah, it's all going to be online. I'm already shaking to know who's going to win choreo, because if it's Danny G, I am out of here. Let's see. What do you think about the retraction of the ISU rules that were supposed to be implemented this year? I think it makes sense because obviously, you know, skaters can't even really adjust to the change because they can't train right now, or at least like some of them can, but the situation is murky. We don't know when competitions are going to be had. So I think it makes sense. What I don't think made sense was just announcing them in the middle of this mess, not even knowing like whether a Grand Prix is going to happen or when next competition is going to be. I think it just didn't make sense to change the rules now. If I would have honestly just, and also they were quite big changes as well. So if I had been them, I would have just changed after Beijing, because usually big changes to base value and general technical rules are made at the end of an Olympic cycle, not in the middle of it. So I was a bit perplexed that they even announced them. I love cherries. Do you watch artistic gymnastics? If so, who's your favorite gymnast? I do watch it, not religiously. I used to watch it a lot more in the past. In the past, my favorite gymnast was Nastia Lukin. I loved her. So graceful. I also liked Catalina Ponor from Romania, and I liked Alia Mustafina from Russia. Right now, obviously, I like Simone Biles. Who doesn't? She's amazing. I love the NCAA, so I really liked some gymnasts in the NCAA. I loved Caitlin Ohashi. I really liked Ashley Natt. She's stopped competing 2 or 3 years ago. She used to compete for LSU University, LSU, and she was great. I expected Terry not to take this laying down. I assume this means Trusova? I don't know. Lumkashi will tour Simbayeva to happen after Evgenia left. Yeah, I mean, the power of a Terry is limitless. So we will see what she's going to do. But my feeling, and you already know this, my feeling is that Sherbakova is the one that's going to get the push. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. If next season Sherbakova isn't the one that gets a giant push in PR, in components, in scoring, I don't know. I just have a feeling if it happens, come back here, screen grab this, and just let it be known that I said that. Would you be worried about the Olympics if this season doesn't happen because of the virus? I think the season is going to happen with some limitations, but I would be surprised if the season didn't happen at all, unless the situation gets a lot worse with the virus. I mean, not that it's a good situation. That's not what I'm trying to say. There are countries that are going through their peak right now, and there's immense suffering, immense number of fatalities. So that's not at all what I'm trying to say. But I have seen how in Italy, now that we are luckily finally past our peak. We're averaging around 250 cases a day. Life has more or less gone back to normal with obviously masks and distancing, although some people don't really respect that. And the football league has started again without audience, of course, but it seems to be possible. And figure skating is an individual sport, so no contact sport is probably better for this type of situation. So I would assume something is going to happen, maybe in different locations than previously thought. We will see. Alina Zagitova is making a comeback. I've seen she went to I'm gonna botch it. Novogorsk to train. I am so curious, but I would be surprised if she did the Grand Prix, if the Grand Prix happens. But, you never know. I may be completely wrong. Maybe it's because I have, like, Sitnikova in my mind, but I don't know. I would be surprised. But I hope she does make a comeback. Do you think having a season off will benefit skaters? No. I don't think at all it's going to benefit skaters. 1 year off for an athlete is immense. It's such a long time not to be competing, and getting back to the swing of things after a year will be a disaster, in my opinion. Yes. I assume this refers to me doing a live commentary of the ISU awards. If I don't know what time it's happening. If it's in a time zone that I can do, then for sure. I mean, why wouldn't I do it? It seems like actually it could be a lot of fun. So general consensus, yes. Okay. Good to know. If you're gonna roast the ISU, then I'm here for it. Always here to roast the ISU, of course. Yeah, we can all watch together. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm gonna see if I can do it. If I can do it, then 100%, 100% I'm gonna do it. Let's see. I literally only have been watching for a few months and I already know how bad it is. I mean, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Thoughts on Alina's comeback? I've already said, I don't know. I just have the feeling that, I don't know. I feel like we may see her at something like Cascades and maybe Nationals and maybe a Japan Open type competition. But I don't know. I don't really get the feeling that she would do an entire season. But that literally is just my feeling. And it's not really based on anything. And she is training right now, so you never know. In your opinion, are there hopes for non-Russian skaters to win the Olympic gold? Yes, I think Alisa could do it. I think Rika could do it if she continues being consistent. And also, I think the Olympics are always such a weird, I mean, so many upsets happen at the Olympics. So I would never really write anyone off that's in the top. Because, yeah, truly anything can happen there. Let's see. Do you think it was wise for the ISU to overturn changes to the points for quads, etc.? I think, I think it wasn't wise to announce it, like I said before, to announce it before they even knew what was going on. So I think it's fine. I mean, also, some of those rules were a bit confusing. Also, I find it really weird how flip and Lutz would have the same value, if not for basically nobody jumping a real Lutz anymore. But then it does kind of punish those who do have a real good Lutz. So I hope Shoma and Chalk and Bates keep their free skates. I mean, I think we're gonna see a lot of repeats because so many skaters are in a condition where they can't get choreography right now, and if you get it very late, then you don't really have time to train it. I know that Satoko Miyahara got choreo for a short program I can't remember who did it actually at the moment, but I know she has her short program choreographed and she did it online through like video call. So I think that's also a possibility, but I think you do kind of need eyes to perfect a choreography, at least not that I'm, an expert on the matter, but I'm so hopeful for Rika to win the Olympics, but it'll probably be Valieva. I honestly like this thing where we put so much attention on juniors is very new to the sport. I mean, not completely new, but you can never tell from like Valieva is great, but we've only literally seen one junior year from her. She has another one. She could be amazing in her Olympic year and win, or she could be anything else. She could have, had a massive growth spurt and be adjusting to it. There's so many what ifs. So I'm not gonna put all my money on anyone at the moment. Maybe next year. Do you think any of the 3As will make it to the Olympics? I think I would bet that at least one of them makes it. My bet would be on Anna at the moment. So there's that. I hope Rika wins the Olympics. I mean, she's definitely a contender. She has triple axel that's really solid. She has all the other jumps, good technique, potentially a quad. So, I mean, I don't see why she wouldn't be a contender there. What do you think of Alexei's horrible Insta? Assuming this is Yagdin that we're talking about, I think it's horrible. He seems, I mean, I don't want to make statements about, his mental health, but he seems like sometimes he just goes completely off the rails and says outrageously hateful things. In this case, directed to the LGBT community, which unfortunately is not a first from him. He's been attacking Jason for it for quite a while. Now he attacked Adam because he made a donation to a organization that supports Black transgender people, which I think is great that he did that. And I think it's even better that he made a donation in Yagadin's name. We love the salt here. I am like, kudos to you, Adam. That was a great move. I think Yagadin's completely out of line. I mean, anyone that says anything hateful like he did, I'm not going to repeat it because I don't want that kind of, content on my channel. I think it's disgusting. But I think that there must be something off with him because he seems kind of obsessed with the LGBT community. But apparently, from what I hear from my Russian friends, he's always going on like, rants and hating a lot of stuff. So maybe he's just, has some rage issues. I don't know. I just think it's disgusting. You once mentioned that you liked Yevgenia Kanayeva from Rhythmic Gymnastics. Do you not follow Rhythmic Gymnastics anymore? Not really. I haven't followed Rhythmic Gymnastics pretty much since Kanayeva left. I like to watch the team competition because Italy is usually pretty good at that, but I only ever watch it at the Olympics anyways, and sometimes I watch it on YouTube, but I don't know. It's pretty repetitive to me, so after a while I get bored. Mm-hmm. Do you think Sasha will lose her bonus because she left to Terry, like it happened to everyone else who left? I would say yes, unless Lushenko's wife Yana, who is a super influential person in Russia, she now has a personal war with the Terry. So my only question mark is if Yana truly is after a Terry, she may make some like political moves, and I would not be surprised if she managed to save Sasha's components from the drop that you usually get post-Terry. What are your thoughts on Tess and Scott? Did they deserve to win the 2018 Olympics? Yes. Unfortunately for them, Papadakis and Cizeron had a very unfortunate mishap in the short ends, which resulted in them just not being as good as they usually are. And Tess and Scott were really, really, really amazing at the 2018 Olympics. So I'm happy with the results. Although I did prefer Papadakis and Cizeron free dance. I thought it was, I don't know, I just liked it better. I don't know. I thought Moulin Rouge was a bit too in your face and a bit too obvious. But Tess and Scott were just better at that competition. I mean, without a doubt. I bet Terry will be jumping out of her boots to make sure her girls are not beaten by Sasha. Probably. Israel is beginning a second wave of, I assume, coronavirus. I'm not too positive. I mean, it's so hard to tell. I don't know if any of you guys follow tennis. I do. Is my other favorite sport beside figure skating. And I don't know if you follow the situation, but number one, Novak Djokovic, who I don't particularly like, and now I have an actual reason not to. He decided to organize this tour called Adria Tour in the Balkans. So it was in different locations in the Balkans, and it was supposed to go on in the next few weeks. So he organizes this tour, and he puts in place exactly 0 precautions against coronavirus, no social distancing whatsoever. Apparently no testing before matches, because then we found out that 2 players had coronavirus. No masks, lots of hugging. They went clubbing all together, shirtless. They took pictures with kids, all huddled together. Also no masks. The crowd was packed. Also no masks, 0 distancing, hugs all around between the players and the teams and everything. So, of course, 1 week or 2 weeks of this clownery goes on. And what do you know? Grigor Dimitrov is a player, test positive for COVID yesterday after he played 2 days ago. And also, I should say that in his last match, he was visibly ill, like you could tell there was something wrong. He tested positive, so they tested everybody. Another player, I think Koric, was positive, and a couple of athletic like coaches or preparators or fitness coaches, whatever you call them, were also positive. So they tested all the players, and now they're all posting apologies on Insta that are like, I'm really sorry for everybody that I have endangered this week, which is like, did you not know there was a pandemic going on? They're like, I'm so sorry if I endanger people. Like, yeah, you've been traveling. Like, many of them came from the US where they had been training. Like, what a mess. And in all this, Djokovic also refused to take a test yesterday and went back to Serbia. So he traveled. He could be a carrier. He traveled anyway, took a plane or whatever back to Serbia. I don't know. He probably drive there from Croatia. I don't even know. So he went back to Serbia. Apparently he's been tested today. So he traveled before he even knew if he had corona. And even if you test negative, you can still test positive in a week or 2 weeks. But, you know, Djokovic believes in, you know, the healing power of positive energy, crystals, magical water. So he probably thought Corona was like a joke and he couldn't get it because he has positive thinking. So all this to say that who knows what can happen with figure skating competition. I think that it's possible to have it without an audience. I don't see how it could happen with an audience at this point in the pandemic. At this point in the pandemic, I think an audience is just a ticking bomb. I mean, already people who travel like the skaters could be carriers. You shouldn't put an audience in it. Mhm. Another question, Yagodin, I've already answered, but yeah. Short answer is I think his statements were disgusting. Terrible. I'll be surprised if Anna ends a quad lutz next lands a quad lutz. Oh my god. Lands a quad lutz next season. I honestly don't see her doing that in Beijing. I think her quads are so reliant on her body type. And I also think that her body type can possibly stay the same through adulthood in a healthy way. Of course, I'm not a doctor, a nutritionist. I don't know her. I don't know her health condition. So I'm not trying to say that, I'm not trying to make any statement about her health. I would find it really strange if she could keep the same body shape that she has now. And I do think that her body shape has a big impact on her being able to land quads. However, she could surprise us all and still keep them, going through puberty and everything. Mm. Still worried about a second wave. I mean, aren't we all? Alina and Genia have been granted Grand Prix starts by Rosberg. I think Alina, Evgenia, Lisa, Sasha, Aliona, and Anna would all have 2 spots at the Grand Prix. I would be surprised if they didn't. I mean, if the Grand Prix is happening. I wonder if Alina's comeback has anything to do with Sasha leaving. I hope she's not pressured into competing. I agree. I mean, I hope if she does compete, it's because she wants to. So many big things have happened in 2020. Oh my God, yes. Emotions and brain feel so overwhelmed. Watching Yuna and Yuzuru always calms me down. That's a very nice feeling, and that's one of the reasons why we all love this sport. And I think sports in general, and also art and that type of media is always something that helps me, through rough patches. And definitely figure skating is always a happy corner for me, despite everything. So I absolutely agree with that. Alina, come back again. I've already answered twice, so I'm not going to repeat it 3 times. But if you have missed it, I'm going to upload this at the end anyway, so you can go back and find it. About the rule changes that the ISU took back, did you think any of it was a good idea, or was it all the usual ISU nonsense? I think it was good that they acknowledged pre-rotation, bad takeoff. It seemed like those were going to be punished more. At the same time, I thought that the queue was such an easy way out for those who chronically under-rotate quads, but also not like 100% under-rotate. Like, I don't know, I thought it was an easy way to, you know, be saved if you come from the right federation. Who do you think has the best spins in the world right now? Oh God. Few names. I would say Jason, for sure. He has amazing spins. Jason, Alisa Liu has amazing spins as well. Satoko Miyahara also has really good spins. I would say those 3 probably come to mind first to me. Flip and Lutz, which one do you think is actually more difficult? I think a legit Lutz is more difficult, but the way that 90% of skaters do their Lutzes now, they're probably same amount of difficulty, but I don't know. I'm not a skater, so hard to tell. Who's your favorite underrated skater? I love Maber Berenice Meite from France. She always has such fun programs, and her presence in person is actually really, really nice. I've seen her live twice, I think, and I really enjoy her skating. She just brings me joy when she skates. And she also always has really good costumes and really good music. I love May Bernice. Yeah, she'd be one. And I think she's quite underrated. Um, it's interesting how the year before the Olympics, the host country always hosts a major competition. No, it's definitely it's deliberate. Before Pyeongchang Olympics, Korea hosted 4 continents in the same arena to kind of like test it. So they usually do it to see if everything's in order. Who do you think could be the Young Yu slash Tursimbayeva or of this coming season? Do you think Young Yu will be a one season? I think Young Yu could be the Young Yu of the coming season, if you know what I mean. I also think some newcomers to keep in mind would be Hein Lee and Xenia Sinitsina. And also, I think both Brady and Mariah seem on the rise to me. So, interesting stuff. Oh yes, Stefan Lambiel choreographs the Tokyo Shore program. Yeah, I was undecided if it was him or not. Yes, super excited to see that. By the way, I think it's a very good combo. Just wanted to say hi from Slovakia. I really enjoy your videos. Thank you so much. And hello in Slovakia. Um, I know this doesn't have anything to do with the video. I mean, the video doesn't even have a topic, so go ahead. As a Nathan fan, I appreciate how you're able to compliment Yuzuru without comparing him to Nathan. I don't really like that type of comparison. I think people get so extreme with things, and this is a sport. Of course, I have a preference towards Yuzuru. I've never made that a mystery. I mean, he is my favorite. He's been my favorite since 2013 probably. So of course, yeah, my preference lies with Yuzuru, but I can appreciate Nathan. I do obviously have criticism for him on some things, like I want richer choreography because I think he can pull it off. I think he's extremely talented, and I think that sometimes his potential isn't tapped, and I think he could do so much more with his talent than what his choreography sometimes allows. But obviously, he's a good skater, and he seems like a nice person as well. So I don't feel the need to, bring him up all the time when we're talking about Yuzuru and vice versa. Nathan said that for some skaters, a Lutz is much easier than a flip, and for him, a loop is much more difficult than a flip and a Lutz. Yeah, I think also it depends on the skater and also their body shape. I know, for example, and this may be wrong, but I've read and I've heard that for some skaters, having an actual outside edge on a Lutz is basically impossible because of the line of their hips. I don't know if this is legit. I've read this quite a few times. So yeah, of course, like I believe that that's possible. Usachova is the Kosternaya of her generation. I think she may do well at the Olympics. I think she's very talented. I don't think she's as talented as Kosternaya, but she's clearly, a very talented skater. I hate the ISU awards. I mean, mood, because the money spent on organizing that could have been spent on actually helping judges. Yes. More than one camera angle. Yes. Improvements to the sport. Yes. And I think that that's what we all think about the ISU awards. At least I do. What do you think about Tomoe Kawabata? She has something that reminds me of Yuna, and about Nini. Oh my god, I can't pronounce that without preparation. I'm not gonna botch her name. So sorry. About Tomoe, I think she's a very pleasant skater with huge jumps, but so painfully inconsistent. If she doesn't really, resolve that, I don't see what she can accomplish in a field as strong as Japan's ladies field. Um, Adam Rippon clapping back and donating 1K in Yagudin's name. Yes. Maybe it's a bit unrealistic because the politics, but I would love Rika to at least medal at the Olympics. Yes, I mean, politics plays such a big role at the Olympics, but also it's such a special event and it's so outside the norm that there's truly so much that can happen there. Since Sasha wants to skate to something elegant this year, she should skate to Waltz of the Ungiven Flowers. I am curious to see what Sasha can do if given a more, delicate, elegant program, classical program. I can't really picture it. So but I do think she needs to try it, and to work on that aspect of her skating. So I know that she wants to do it, and I'm really curious to see. I actually really disliked her short program last season because it was built in a way to, accentuate like the fact that she's more of a power skater. But they kind of boxed her in so young with that image that I want to see something different from her. So I'm excited for that. Kurt Browning apparently called Hanyu non-versatile. Thoughts? I wouldn't say he's not versatile. I think that, if you take Hope and Legacy and Let's Go Crazy, there's pretty good versatility there. I do want to see new things from him though, so excited for that. Do you think that Elizaveta could beat the Atari girls, assuming that's Tutkamicheva and not Tursibaeva? I don't think so. Can France beat Canada for a team medal next Olympics? I don't think their ladies and pairs are strong enough, unless Cypre and Vanessa James and Morgan Cypre come back. But since Morgan Cypre is, you know what, I don't actually wish to see them again ever. If the top 6 Russian ladies plus Sinitsina all go clean, how would you rank them? Oh God. Top 6 from last year, so that would be Evgenia, Lena, Lisa, Sasha, Aliona, and Anna plus Sinitsina. I don't know. It depends on what content they do. I would say Kosternaya would probably be my number 1 because she has a good balance of, skating skills and transitions and difficult content. I think she seems quite balanced, so I would put her in first. Then, depending on how they call Sherbakova's quads, I would put either her or Medvedeva second. If Sherbakova's quads are all called clean, then she'd obviously be in front because of technical score. Then I would put Evgenia in third. And then it depends a lot on components because to me, Sasha's components are really, really weak. And it also depends on her layout because we've seen her do 5, 4, and 3 quads layouts. If she did her latest one, which was 3 quads, I would probably put her also behind, oh God, I got lost. Who did I place? I don't know. It's too difficult a question, but that'd be one hell of a competition that I would love to watch. Since you mentioned tennis, what is your thought about Sharapova, her career, her Moldonium scandal? I like Sharapova quite a bit, actually. When she was younger, she was such a fierce competitor, which I loved. The Moldonium scandal was really sad. I do give her the benefit of the doubt because Meldonium was legal up until 1 month before she got stopped for doping. So it's not like she had been doping the entire time. Meldonium was legal up until the moment, basically, because I think she got caught in January and the law passed in like December that meldonium was banned. So, and obviously she's not stupid. She wouldn't use something that's illegal and risk this. So clearly she hadn't realized that the rules had changed. I think that's unfortunate because it kind of messed her up forever. So kind of sad. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Hi, Fran. As a Harry Potter fan, how do you feel about the recent J.K. Rowling drama? You know what? I think J.K. Rowling should just take a break from social media because every single time she opens her mouth, you know, and she said so many useless. That's the thing. It's like I don't even want to go into the details of like I agree, I disagree. Personally, I don't really agree with her. Um, but also like at a time where we have a pandemic, when we have, Black Lives Matter and so many other social issues going on, and so many other important causes, like, again, the whole movement that came out of George Floyd's death and so many other things. The fact that she's so fixated on this blows my mind. So I think she should just take a break. Just take a break, JK. You've written really nice books. Just take a break. That's all I ask. As good as Valieva is, she's the epitome of what I don't like about a terry skater. Cluttered and meaningless choreography, overused extensions, all combined with uninspiring music. All three things don't really depend on Valieva, and she is really, really talented. So all these three things are mostly Danny G, actually. So you know how I feel about him. So do you think Kamisheva will make it to Beijing based on sheer will alone? No. I just don't think it's possible for her to be in Beijing. But, everything is possible. What's a common misconception about Italian food? Oh God, misconceptions. I don't know if it's a misconception, but when I lived in the UK, a lot of people put chicken on pasta and pizza, which we never, ever, ever, ever do. So don't put chicken on pasta and on pizza if you want to be like classic Italian. Also, we don't always eat, first course, second course, and everything. We usually have one or the other if we're at home. Pasta or rice or soup is always going to be your first course. And your second course is always going to be either fish or meat or a protein plus salad. We always have vegetables, so a salad or something else. Yeah. No cappuccino after lunch. I don't know. Good to know. We all admire Novak's wisdom, don't we all? If figure skating competitions will be held without an audience, how do you think it will benefit or hurt the skaters? I think it's gonna hurt the atmosphere a lot because if you've ever been to a competition in person, people react to the music and for example, somebody does a dramatic Ina Bauer, everybody's like, yes. So not having that is going to be really weird. And also I think economically speaking, I don't know if the ISU can sustain a lot of competitions without audience, especially without very strong TV rights. Oh God, mosquito. Why don't you have super chat on YouTube? I've been told that if I were to do that, I would have to have something that in Italy we call partita IVA. I don't know how to call it in English, which I don't want to do. So that's a short answer. And also I am useless. Sherbakova is very injury prone, so she might not have quads in 6 months / 2 years. She already had a broken leg and arm. Hopefully she's not going to get injured. I would hate for that to happen. She's become oops, she's become kind of my favorite 3A. I don't know if I bought into the how much PR she's been given, but so hopefully she'll be. I mean, even if she wasn't my favorite, I still hope she wouldn't get injured, of course. What's your take on Elisa leaving her coach? Already talked about that at the beginning, so you can see that once I upload this. What do you think? Medvedev is still in Japan. I mean, it's strange. Why not Russia, Canada? I don't think she can go to either Russia or Canada because both borders are closed. So I'm sure 100% she can't go to Russia because the borders are completely shut. And I think Canada also has travel bans. So I think she's stuck in Japan. What's your opinion on Yilin Kim's skating? I think she's so graceful and light. I really like her. I want to see her develop more. I don't think they will punish per rotation with negative GOE. I just think the skaters won't receive +4 or 5, etc. We shall see. I think it depends on who you are and what's your fed. As a skater, the left is so hard to do right, but it feels so good when you do it right. I'm jealous that you can jump a lot because, of course, I can't. I can't even stand on skates. I mean, I know I say this all the time, but my friends think he's so hilarious that I'm here preaching about skating and I can't even wear a pair of skates without falling. And I would agree with them. What's had your favorite costume ever? Oh God, ever is a bit hard. Just come up with one. I've always liked Yuna's costumes. They were so classy. I loved her free skate costume in Sochi. And also her vampire kiss of the vampire costume was so beautiful. Veronica Jelina's mother, I've already answered. Her mom was shown in the ring doing triple axels with her 9-year-old sister. Wait, what? Who? Her mom was jumping a triple axel or Jelena? I'm confused. Melanie Crane from Australia is an underrated skater I love. I like her presence and music choice. Yeah, I actually really like her. And she also does a triple loop combo, which I love. Do you think Lil Bat is ever coming back? I don't know. I would be surprised. It seems like her back injury was really, really bad. So bad that they needed, like experimental therapy and, specialists abroad. But I hope she is. Hi from Taiwan. I just recently started watching figure skating. Yay, welcome to figure skating. And your channel has been a blessing. Thank you so much. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying, the figure skating fan life. Do you prefer lyrical Satoko or modern Satoko? I love Satoko in general, and I think she's one of the few skaters that can pull both off. If I truly have to choose, though, lyrical Satoko. Do you think dark, depressed music suits Yuzuru? I think if you're thinking about Origin, because that made me think about Origin, I liked it at first, but it started becoming quite ominous to me, and now associated with injuries and lots of frustration. So I would like him to do something like Let's Go Crazy Again. I know I always say this, but that program, like lightning in a bottle. What are your opinions on Canadian ladies? Do you think Gabby can come back as competitive as before? I think Gabby right now is still clearly the strongest skater if she can kind of, pull herself back together, which I hope she will do. So I think she's still their best. They may have some promising juniors or novices that I've read about. I think maybe novices, but in general, there's some reworking to do on Canadian ladies. Clearly, something's not completely all right. I'm dreaming someone skating to the Joker soundtrack. I think Sasha Samarin did that last season. Go look it up. Maybe in an exhibition. or go find it. Since the ISU Awards is happening, they should also reward Plushenko and Yana's dance show on IG during quarantine. They went all out. They truly did. Do you think Alisa was unsatisfied with the results last season, resulting in the coaching change? I think partly yes, and also she just probably wants a bigger name as her coach, which I completely agree with. I don't understand why they make Sasha portray a literal troll in her step sequence. She's already kind of awkward. Well, it's a bit harsh. This just underlined it. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying, skating like a troll. I think that's a bit, offensive. Not, no offense to you, but I do think it's a bit offensive. But I do think that, like I said before, they always tried to give her powerful or aggressive or fast kind of music. And it's fine, but it didn't help her refine her skills. And I think that it shows now that she's in seniors so much more because she's up against, people like Satoko, for example, and you can truly, truly tell the difference. So I hope that that's something that they are going to work on. I know that they want to. So who do you think will make the Russian world team junior and senior this year? It's anyone's guess. Russian team is always such a big if. I would say 2 of the 3As and 1 new entry or old entry. Da, 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 da. Ooh, oops. I need to go back on the comments. I skipped too much. Oh God. Sorry if I miss any comments. I just scrolled too far down. Who, in your opinion, were the top 3 overscored skaters last season? I don't know. It's always relative to the competition. I think it's never just like overscored in general. It's always overscored in relation to the scoring at a competition. So I don't know. A lot of people dodging that. But if you go on my Twitter and go back to the or if you even just watch my commentary videos on competitions, probably can get a good idea. Do Italians like Brazilians? Italians kind of like everyone apart from the French because we're neighbors and we have to be rivals. Same with the Germans. The neighbors is always like. But in general, we like everyone. Also, of course, I have French and German friends. Just a disclaimer. It's just neighbor relations are always complicated. Haha, people do that in the USA. It's called chicken wing pizza. No comment on that. Somebody's making a Yuzuru Otoñal Funko Pop. Nice. If Daria Osachova has to skate another dramatic blaring, peace him out. Yes. God, when she swim a lot is way too heavy for a 13, 14-year-old girl. Like, yeah. Do you think in general in 2016, 17, 18 the judges kind of close their eyes on fluxes, under rotations, etc.? I don't think it's stricter now. I just think they kind of close their eyes for a long time and now they have to run to repair things because it's gotten kind of out of control. But I don't get the feeling they truly want to do that. So I don't know. I hope that ISU can change the time limit to 4:30 for men and ladies and add another step sequence. I would love a spiral sequence for the ladies in particular, but also, spiral sequences, bring them back. Hi, Fran. I know Ice Dance is not your favorite, true, but what do you think about Kalishek and Spodiriev dance couple? I think I actually saw them live once, but I may be wrong. But if I did see them live, I think I enjoyed them. I don't have like that much to say about them because again, dance not my favorite, so I don't usually like truly follow couples that are like outside the top, which I know is my flaw. How many quads do you need to be competitive in men's nowadays? Too many. Um, do you think if Dash Chelsea improves her quads, will make it her jumps? Sorry, not her quads. She will make it in Beijing 2022? I don't know. I don't know. It's too far away. She's too young. I can't tell. In my opinion, the Q rule is a reason to give judges' favorites favorable marks. Yes, I agree. I mean, they're trying to address it, which is good, but also if they use it like they use it everything else, then yeah. Do you think that Satoko could go to Beijing 2022? I think it's difficult, but not impossible. Have you ever considered learning to figure skate either on ice or floor? Italy is way more accessible as far as I'm concerned. So, I know roller skating. So, like, yeah, roller skating, is that how they call it? Rollerblading is quite popular in Italy, actually. But where I grew up, there is no rinks for either roller skating or figure skating. And where I live, it's a coastal town, super hot all year. The minimum temperature we get is like 0, and it's like the coldest day of the year. So we don't really have much luck with ice skating at all. We don't have facilities where I live. It's quite common in the north. I live in the north, but not super north in a way. I don't know how to explain that without, telling you where I live, which I don't want to do. But yeah, there's no rings where I live. That's short story. So I could never really do that. Also, it's way too expensive for me. I'm too poor. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, okay. Do you regret making your first video? Well, no, because if I hadn't made my first video, I wouldn't be here today. And it opened up a world. Whoops, for me, mosquito. I do think I was like, I didn't really, the way that I did it, I think, was so out there, and now I'm so much more careful of how I word things because I realized there's people watching. I just thought nobody was gonna watch it, but no, I don't regret it, and I still agree with what I said in the end. So maybe we'll phrase it a bit better. But what kind of new program would you like to watch from Yuzuru? A Let's Go Crazy style program. Do you think Rika training at the cricket club will motivate Medvedeva to increase her technical content? It's gonna be so interesting. And I do wonder how Medvedeva took the news, because it's kind of like training with one of your biggest rivals, and that's always, it can go well and it can go terribly. Usually doesn't go too well. So I am curious to see how Brian splits his time and what it's gonna do for Medvedeva's kind of like emotional state. But I do think it can be motivating if the cricket team handles it well. I honestly think that obviously triple axels are out of the question for Evgenia. She's just fixed her double axel. It seems to me like they kind of stopped training the quad, and obviously, I mean, now she can't because she's stranded in Japan. But I don't know if that's what she needs, is the thing. I think if Evgenia can be consistent, she can score 225, 230 without that. If she truly, truly manages to be consistent, her components are really good. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how they influence each other, if they do, if they get along, if they don't. Yeah, lots of interesting stuff. Love Origin so much, although everybody hates it. I don't hate it, but now I just associate it to bad memories. So, and I don't think it's his best, like even close to his best program. What skaters do you think are always underscored? Kaori Sakamoto. Components, hello. What do you think about the drama between Unsu Lim and Maria Bell and accusation, blah blah, like all that stuff? I've talked about it before. Long story short, I don't think Mariah did it on purpose. I do think she could have probably just stopped, apologized, and the whole thing wouldn't have exploded. But yeah, it seems like Raf's rink wasn't the best environment for Unsu anyway. I don't know. From the way they all reacted against her, I'm kind of glad she's not there anymore. I love Unsu, so I'm always. We all want spiral sequences. Yes, we do. Do you think the Canadians can win a team medal in 2022? I think probably not. Have you ever watched synchronized skating? Like a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, but I need to get into it more. Which programs would you create for Anna, Aliona, and Rika? Thank you for the stream. For Rika, I'd like something modern, contemporary, maybe. I think she could do something like edgier. I don't know. I would like to see her do something like bodysuit, like I don't know, like something, yeah, modern, edgy. For Anna as well, I want to see her do something more contemporary that she's done so far. And for Leona, the opposite. I want to see her do a classic. Did you hear of the Ukrainian national pair championships that were banned, or champions probably, that were banned by their federation? Yeah, what's up with that? I did read it, but I didn't really go into the details, I have to be honest. Which Italian city do you live in? Not gonna tell. Just know that it's on the sea, which in Italy could be anywhere. I think the Russian Federation is willing to take Jenny and Lena along with their next generation, but they're telling Lisa to retire. I think Lisa was helped a little bit in the last couple of seasons components-wise. So I think they're willing to take all three along until, I don't know, they can afford it, so why not? Do your students know about your videos? No, they don't care about skating, and I don't care for them to see me ramble on the internet. So this is so much fun. Thank you for your time. You're very, very welcome. I like doing live streams. Rika is not really rivals with Evgenia IMO. Isn't she though? Because, I mean, if you look at the highest scores from the past season, aren't they literally one on top of the other? I would say they are rivals. In Spain, at least where I live, there are few or no rinks, but I do roller skating in the school playground. Yeah, the roller skating is quite popular here. Well, semi-popular here as well. What's your opinion on, sorry, I'm in short. So what's your opinion on Wakaba Higuchi? I love her. Her free skate in Milan, I was there, is probably my favorite thing that I've seen live. It was amazing. I agree. Origin isn't his best because usually his best free skate will always be Hope and Legacy. I prefer Same A to Hope and Legacy, but Hope and Legacy would be my number 2, and then the OG Romeo and Juliet would be my number 3. And then I actually quite liked Phantom as well. Do you think Sherbakova Kostranaya will become an issue like Medvedeva Zagitova and one will eventually leave? Potentially. I think if Kostranaya see them prop Sherbakova a lot more than they prop her, even though she won everything last season, that could definitely become a problem. That's just me speculating, though. I was skeptical about Mariah Bell's work Bish last year, but now I want to see more skating to upbeat dance music. Yes. I like that type of program. We see so much of the same all the time. You know, during quarantine, I have been reordering my Spotify playlist, as I was saying before, and I realize how much music is out there that skaters don't even consider. For example, one of my favorite bands ever is Led Zeppelin. I love Led Zeppelin. Why aren't there more programs? Like, their music is so skatable if you do like the right mashup of their songs. Um, it could be so cool, like for an edgy skater with big jumps, lots of energy. But nobody ever does rock music, and I'm like, why? It could be so much fun. But yeah, just my opinion. Love Led Zeppelin. If you needed to know that. Do you think Sasha really jumped a quad loop? Like I said, I think 50-50. Pushenko's good at politicking. IMO Camila is the best lady in the world right now, junior and senior. I don't agree. What's your favorite male Canadian? Sorry, I'm laughing because I think one of my friends is writing in the chat. I won't tell you who, but I think I've spotted them. What's your favorite male Canadian skater, and who will be chosen for the Olympic Games? Depends on how many spots they have. I like Keegan Messing the most. I think he's the most complete, and his skating skills are to die for. Have you ever incorporated anything skating related in your lessons? I think a couple of short, like the fluff pieces that they do before a competition with like interview with an athlete, like inspirational stuff, but like very short stuff, because obviously that's not really the point of my lessons usually. Especially I teach middle school and high school, and in middle school it tends to be too difficult if it's not subtitled, because they're like 10 or 11, and in high school I have to devote myself to my true passion, which is literature. So right now I've just finished Shakespeare with my high school sophomores. Loved it. I loved doing Shakespeare. I don't know, we did so much stuff, like Shakespeare-based stuff, read the sonnets, read Hamlet's monologue, and a lot of, saw films. They loved it, and because Shakespeare is so modern, and obviously I love it. I like literature. I know I always say I graduated in languages, but I never specified that my focus was literature. I did English lit and American lit in my BA, and then focused on American literature in my master's. So literature is like my number one thing, and I love Shakespeare. So that was a digression, but yeah. Do you think it's safe to hold world championships in Stockholm? We shall see. It's, the virus situation moves so fast. I don't know if you mentioned it, but congrats to Yulia on her pregnancy. Yes, congrats. God, I can't speak. Congrats to Yulia Lipnitskaya on her pregnancy. Yay. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us. My pleasure. Are you aware of some initiatives on discussing about diversity issues in figure skating, like Skate Proud and Diversity on Ice? I am very happy to see that. I've been retweeting a lot of Skate Proud. I think it's Javier Raja who started it, and I think it's great. I've seen also My Bernice had a chat with Kira Corpi on diversity, and I think it's amazing that what's been happening in the world has also sparked a conversation in figure skating. I think it's great. Did you like Shoma's short this season? Not my cup of tea, but I think he pulled it off. Oh my god, a cashmere free skate. This is a fellow Led Zeppelin fan. Just imagine it, like, he would be so cool. Like, why don't they do it? I'm like, please. Imagine just like the opening, like do 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 do, like so powerful. Why don't they do it? I don't know. It'd be great. Why do you think people like Anna and Lisa can pull off quad lots, with the exception of Sasha? Textbook lutzers like Lisa Tarakanova and Rika can do it. For the exact reason you said. If you have a textbook lutz, especially for a lady. It's so hard, but also for men. It's so hard to jump a proper quad lutz. It's so difficult. If you jump a cheated quad lutz, however, it becomes a lot easier. What do you think of Yuzu's picking technique on his lutz and flip? I think it's pretty good, pretty textbook. Do you think that Elisa Liu could fix her technique with her new coach? I think she's young enough that she can definitely make improvements to her technique. Absolutely. The only rock program I can recall on the ladies' field was Yvette Thoth's AC/DC at the Olympic season. Yeah, she did that. And actually, if you're a Led Zeppelin fan, Carolina Kostner, not many people remember that because it was her comeback season after a long hiatus. She skated to John Bonham's drum solo. John Bonham, Led Zeppelin's drummer, had a solo number called Moby Dick, and it's just drums. And Carolina, queen of everything, skated to that, and I actually loved it. But very ambitious. What do you think of Yuzuru maybe being able to go to Beijing Olympics? I think he's definitely able to go if he wants to. It's more of a matter if he wants to go. I agree. I was just thinking the other day that Moments of Stairway to Heaven would be perfect for figure skating. There's so much Zeppelin music, as well as Queen, but also Zeppelin, that I think, if mixed together, would make such a good figure skating program. Somebody make a montage and send it to me. Rock music would make sense for skating, especially since skaters are young and they would relate more to energetic, edgy music. Yes. Yeah, I don't know why they don't do it. Probably just, they're used to war horses, or I don't know. Keegan's spins make me very happy. Oh yes, his spins are amazing. I didn't mention him before, but absolutely. Did schools actually reopen in Italy? No, we did all our lessons, but we did them online, which sucks. We did them via, Zoom, Google Meets, and, all that. Wait, you guys are still in school? Don't you have a summer break? Yes, school's over. It's been over for a week where I live. I'm still busy with schoolwork until June 30 because we have teaching reports, marking, grading, and all that to organize. But for students, yeah, it's over, not for me. Last year, the media was acting like Steven Gogolev was the next great thing in men's skating. Do you think it's still possible? I think that's a danger with just placing all your expectations on a child before they've even developed. And I think that's not to say that he couldn't be, but how could we know when he's a kid? Especially men grow so much. We can tell probably in a couple of years. I think Rika will do a traditional program or recycled program during OG season. I hope a new one, unless next season she has a really good one that she wants to keep. Can you play something for us with the guitar on the back? Maybe at the end. Is it possible for Ekaterina Kurakova to learn different types of quads? I think, her triples are so tight in rotations. I don't see how it could make sense for her to do quads. I feel components-wise, and Su Lim is a little underscored. Completely agree. How many times have Edia skates broken mid-competition or even mid-program this season? Was Carolina comeback season 2016-17? I think so. Yeah, I think so. I love Carolina's Thunder program. Carolina always tries to do quite original things with her programs, which I love. There's so much other Romeo and Juliet music people can skate to, like Prokofiev and Tchaikovsky. So true. I don't know why they don't. Although I do love the original Romeo and Juliet from the Zeffirelli movie. In the UK, we still have school until mid-July. I know. Sorry about that. I remember watching Carolina at Worlds on the ISU channel. Yeah. I think Carolina. There are many edits of users skating to Parisian walkaways, but with BTS songs. Like Black Swan is surprising. They actually seem legit. I don't know any BTS songs. My music taste is like a little more old school. I know. I do listen to new music, of course, but I don't know. I like, yeah, 60s, 70s, 80s music, and then I mean, I like a lot of stuff, but I haven't ventured in K-pop yet. Maybe one day. I keep having this dream that Costner can do a quad toe. I think that's a bit ambitious now. Um, I would love to see Costner skate into a good old classic warhorse like Claire de Lune. I think she could do a very, um, very nice classic warhorse. Costernaya. What's your opinion on ISU pushing new base values for quad loop, quad lutz, quad flip? I do think that once you reach that level of quad, obviously, quad toe and quad sal are considered to be the easiest quads, and it does seem like they are the most likely quads that people are going to learn first, especially yeah, like it's usually either quad toe or quad sal, which is the first quad you have, and the other three are kind of like the next level. So I guess it does make sense to compare them in a way. Especially because, as people were saying before, each skater finds, maybe for Nathan, loop is more difficult, for Yuzuru maybe flip, it depends on the skater a lot. Do you think Yuzuru will land a quad axel? I think if anyone's gonna do it, it probably is him, but I hope he doesn't push it too hard because it's such a dangerous jump. You guys at school should be happy. I have to go to work every single day, 365 a year. I mean, I know teachers are quite lucky because we do get almost, well, in my case, almost 2 full months off. So yeah, I know I can't complain about that, honestly. Young Yu has the best musical cut of Romeo and Juliet I've seen thus far. I can't really remember it. I mean, obviously, I remember she did Romeo and Juliet. I don't really remember the sequence of music cuts, though. Aliana should definitely do something like Debussy. That'd be really nice. What do you think of Jenny's music choices for the new season? Love Masquerade as a short. Loathe Allegory as a phrase. I hate that song so much. I hope it's gonna be some sort of like mix of different songs, because my god, I hate Allegria. Allegria. It's so annoying. I hate it. I love Masquerade though. So I think that's a great choice. Oh my god, the mosquitoes. Yeah, I know. It's so hot here right now, and of course, I have my parents' house. There's like a terrace, and it attracts mosquitoes because of the plants. Are you a teacher? Yeah, I am. I teach English in middle school and high school. Users Olympic Games, Romeo and Juliet step sequence. I actually didn't love Users Olympic Romeo and Juliet. I like the first, his 1.0 Romeo and Juliet. I thought was great, and such a good debut in the world. I miss Polina Tsurskaya. Shame she couldn't go on due to her health. Polina Tsurskaya was such a good skater, such good technique. It is such a shame that she retired because I loved her. My message was directed at school students. School teachers deserve to have 2 months off. Honestly, yes. I mean, I consider myself lucky to have almost 2 full months off. However, it's such an emotionally taxing job that I do kind of feel like I need a longer break, or I would just snap at the students. It is exhausting. Yeah, I agree. Oh, I meant original, not Olympic. Sorry. Yeah, then I agree with you. I love Allegria. I mean, good for you. I think I just have a mental block with Allegria. I don't know why. That song annoys me to no end. Also, the lyrics are like fake Italian. I don't know. Do your students know about this channel? No. What happened to Elisa Losco? I don't know. Actually, yeah, I don't know. Any book series you can recommend? series, I don't know if I'm really into book series. I mean, Harry Potter, I guess. All the Jane Austen books are my favorite. I'm willing to sit through Allegria. I'm happy she chose something out of the box. I mean, with Shaylin's choreo, it could really be out of the box. So I think that's really interesting. It's kind of something she hasn't done before. So in that sense, I'm happy about it. But I hate this. Concept: Satoko skating to rock alternative music. Yay or nay? Yay. Why not? She can pull it off probably. So. Whose step sequence is your favorite last season? I liked um I like Jason's step sequences a lot. He's so good. I like Satoko's. I liked Evgenia's exogenesis. I liked Yuzuru's Otoñal. I liked Kevin Amos's step sequences. Yeah, just some of them. Thought Shoma is the first person to attempt quad flip, but I couldn't find it on this bio. You know what? I actually don't remember. Les Mis, there's a lot of Les Mis. If you go out there, you know, you and I did Les Mis, everybody did Les Mis. So just YouTube it. As a fellow Kaori fan, what kind of programs do you like for her? My favorite program for her was the piano. I thought it was gorgeous. I want to see her do more stuff like that. I didn't think either one of her programs this season. I thought they were too edgy for the type of skater that she is. Loved the piano. Have you watched a new Emma movie? No, I really want to. It seems so cool and so much fun. Do you know what Jin is doing in Japan? I think she's stuck in Japan until Canada or Russia reopen their border, because neither have their borders open. So she probably, I think she did an interview today or yesterday where she said that she's just training by herself and kind of hating it because she doesn't have a coach there, obviously. So kind of demotivating. I hope they fix whatever problems Kaori had. Same. She's one of my absolute favorites at the moment. I think it was Daisuke Takahashi who was the first to attempt quad flip, but Shoma was officially the first to land it. Could be. I honestly, you know what? I always forget this type of stuff. Oh, I love to see someone skate to the 2005 Pride and Prejudice music. Yes, and you know what? This is going to break your heart. Tess and Scott were meant to do it. Tessa really wanted to do it, but I don't remember if it was Scott or if it was her coach that didn't want to do it. And they did it in the end, and that makes me so sad. That could have been great. Canada borders will open mid-July. Then there you go. She's probably going to go back in a couple weeks. Have you seen Keegan messing Cider Blade? He's been practicing. Keegan, I've seen his spread eagle, and it's incredible. He does like 2 full rounds of the rig in a spread eagle. It's amazing. What do you think about Roman Sadovsky? I think he's nice, a lot of potential, so much to develop yet, but he seems really nice. And he's gotten like semi-consistent this season, which is quite good. No promise on when the Canadian border will reopen. Our government keeps pushing it back. So yeah, there you go. We had like 3 reopening dates. That's like, I think that means that Evgenia can come back, Ekaterina can't come back, Jason can come back, Yuzu and June can come back, and I think Rika, if she's gonna go now, can also can't go. So until they reopen, they're all kind of stuck. What do you think about Ekaterina Kurakova? I think that sorry, she has really lovely posture and arms, nice interpretation, nice musicality. I don't know how competitive she can be technically. Have you seen Roman's YouTube channel? Yes, I have. I haven't really followed it yet. I think I am a subscriber, but I haven't really had the time to, you know, go into the videos. But he seems like a fun guy. Thoughts on Kevin Amos? I love his interpretation. Love Kevin. When I saw him live in Turin, he was so good, and the crowd loved him. I also loved him. Yeah, I think he's great. I really like him. All right. Oh my God, I've gotten to the end of this. This is an hour and 30 minutes long. Everybody's going to hate me when I upload them. I'm going to stop here with the questions because, yeah, I think I'm going to have to go to dinner in a moment, but we can do another one soon if you guys liked it. So somebody asked me to play something before I left. I actually do want to do it because I like playing, but I haven't decided what to play yet. Let me just find the chords to one of my favorite songs at the moment. It's called In the Long Run. It's by a band called The Staves. I haven't played it in a few weeks, so I may mess up the guitar playing. You know, I'm not a great guitar player. I prefer singing, but you know, my guitar is here. I'm sure I'm gonna get like super anxious because you know I never play the guitar in public. So, for those of you who are staying for this math, be nice to me because I never play the guitar in public. I have sung in public before, but I never ever play in public. I just play at home. So I'm gonna try this. Please don't slander me. Don't say I'm horrible. Well, I guess I always say that about like people's jumps and everything. So you can do it. I don't care. I'm gonna survive it. Okay, I'm gonna try and do like a verse and a chorus of this. It's like I said, it's called In the Long Run by The Staves. Go look them up. They're such a cool band. They're three sisters and they're amazing. Okay, here I go. I'm so nervous. Okay. Lying, a dreamer, dreaming beside me. The city sirens keep me away. And I know that I'll see you again in the long run. People, they tell me I should be careful. That you worry, and I'm already miles away. But I know that I'll see you again in the long run. And I know that I'll meet you again in the long run. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I wasn't looking at the comments because I was nervous. I just put up the chords. Hopefully nobody's like puking in the comments. But thanks to everyone who's like, good job. Like I said, I never play in public. I have sung in choirs before, like non-professional, obviously. But yeah, thanks for that. Sorry for bothering you with my singing. I just had a moment of egomania that I had to share. But yeah, so I think this is it because I am so hungry. I can hear my like stomach rumbling. So I'm gonna go have dinner. I will upload this, so if you missed the beginning or the middle or any of it, because it's like almost 2 freaking hours long, you can find it on my channel, and you can now find me on both Twitter and Instagram. On Twitter, I'm at Frank underscore Lee, my dear. No way, I'm Fran underscore Clee, my dear. And on Instagram, I'm at Fran Talks FS, which stands for figure skating. So you can find me on both Instagram and Twitter if you like. You can find me on Ko-fi as well if you want to send me a tea. And you can see my finger is like slightly trembling because I was nervous. But yeah, okay. I'll see you guys in my next live or in my next video. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. And on Instagram, Twitter, blah, 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 blah. So have a nice evening and I'll see you soon. Bye. Stay safe. Can't close this. Okay.